Hey guys, welcome back. From this tutorial onwards, we will move our control of tutorials to uh, web forms. So, what exactly are web forms? Web forms are the forms that might be in HTML or PHP that I actually use to send the data from client machine to the server. For that, uh, we use some web forms and some methods, and web forms is the initial thing that we use to send data from client to the server machine. So the first thing we'll be doing in and we'll be studying in the web forms is the PHP GET method. It is the HTTP method uh, of sending the data from the client machine to the server machine. The example of GET is something like filling the form and then clicking on the submit button so that it goes to the server for further processing. So that all we'll be doing through get method in this tutorial. So we'll see how we can send the data to the browser to the server using our browser. For that we can have a single page or the two page as well. But first we study the two page concept, in which we'll be having an HTML page and we'll be having a PHP page. What we'll do, we design a form on our HTML page, and then we submit some data values through that form to the PHP page. It means that the data from the client browser is sent to the server using the get method of PHP. So let's design uh, our HTML form first. So let's have that basic coding at the initial level. We will not move into the HTML very much. We just understand the basics that are required in a PHP language. So just move on. That's the body tag in which we design our form. So first thing is the form tag. So let's first save our HTML file um, in the same folder in which we were working from the very beginning, that is teach, and uh, we give a name get underscore method dot html. Okay. uh, okay, now that's a very simple tags we have used, and you must be familiar with these tags. So we have a form tag, and we must have an action element here so that we know after the click on submit button, where do we need to navigate. Okay, so here the action in the action we write get underscore method dot php. Okay, so now let's develop uh, some uh, input text field so that we can put our input there. Input type equals to text, and name equals to fname. Okay, fname. Okay, so that's the thing. Second form second field will be uh, last name. Okay, input type equals to text, name equals to lname. That's quite simple. Okay, that's quite simple for now, but you must understand that we have to send these value to the server, and that is not at all possible by using HTML. Okay, so let's save it and let's first test it on the browser itself. um, so our folder is teach, and we have file name as get underscore method dot html. Okay, so we have our form right here, and what we need to do now, we need to put a break, okay, so that it is more readable and understanding. Now the next thing we need to do, we need to put a button there, and that's a submit button, because submit because the type is submit, that's only we move to the action element. So let's move on and put the value as submit. Okay, submit. Okay, uh, let's check on the browser. Okay, we have our form ready. Okay, so uh, let's just remove it for now, and let's see what it does when we insert some data. Let's suppose we have Tom here and Harry here. Okay, if we submit it, it will actually make no changes in the form, but you can see that it's creating a query string down here. uh, you might not get this thing at this time, but you will come to know it when we move on developing the PHP page. Okay, so let's make it as it is supposed to be, uh, get underscore method dot php. So let's do it one more time. It's Tom, sorry, it's Tom, it's Harry. Okay, submit. You can see that object not found is the error. It's because we haven't developed the PHP page yet. So now we're ready with the HTML form, which will work on the client side, but we need a script which can receive the values on the server side also. Okay, so let's save our file with the name get underscore method dot php, as we have mentioned in the action element. So this is thing, we have saved it, and let's now see if it works. Okay, it's Tom and it's Harry. All right, and there is, you can see that the page has loaded, but there is no effect of whatever data we have sent to the browser. But as I have told you, you can notice the query string that is being generated here. Okay, so let's now see how PHP can react on this query string. All right, so what we have in this query string is a name, name of the element, its value, name of the element and its value. Okay, we have two things over here, uh, name of the element, its value. So what we have to do in PHP, we have to retrieve the value out of the name element. Okay, so for that in PHP we use dollar underscore get, which is the global variable, uh, and is used to fetch the get values that come from HTML side. So uh, we have um, it it should be, it should fetch the value from the element name. So we have first element name as f name, as we have mentioned here, name. Okay, so it's f name. Okay, and remember to store it in a uh, variable itself. Okay, and the second, sorry, the last underscore name equals to dollar underscore get L name, that we are giving here in the second input element. Okay, so let's first see if we have any errors here. Yeah, no errors, all good. So let's move back to our HTML page, make it more understandable. So now we have successfully fetched the values from the get method in the variable itself. Now what we need to do, we need to print them. First underscore name echo, um, let's put a break here, okay, and dollar second underscore name. That's great. So now, right now, we are at the client script. We are at the HTML page. We are nowhere near the server right now. What now we are heading is Tom, um, Tom, Larry. Okay. So now we are at the HTML page now. We have to send the query to the server so that it can fetch the data. Let's click on the submit here. Okay, we have an error right there, but as you can see, we have successfully retrieved the first value, that is the Tom. Second one is giving an error, so let's see, it's on line 7. Let's see what mistake we have done. Sorry, it's actually not second name, it's actually last name. That's a very minor mistake from my side. Let's refresh the page and you can see that both the values have been retrieved successfully. So that's the thing. As you can see, the value are retrieved um, from the from the HTML page very successfully using the get method. And as you can see, $_get is used, which is the global variable. And within the get method, $_get, which is the global variable, we use the name in which the value reside, and that name is double quoted. Remember that. It's very important to remember the syntax so that we can implement $_get successfully. So let's just make a modification in the form, and let's make another input field which will actually ask the age of the user. And remember, there should be no same name in the elements, so let's just change the name to age, which is much more unique and matching. So let's move back to the form itself, and yes, we have 3 input fields now. So let's see, let's put the name again. It's Tom, Larry, and put the age 20. Let's submit it. As you can see, there is no error, but you can see the query string has increased from 2 elements to 3 elements. It has a third element now, that is the age, which is the name, and 20 as the value. But it hasn't fetched on the PHP page. Why? Because we haven't put any script to fetch the age element. Okay, so let's do the same and declare a variable with initialization of $get, and within the braces we have age element. All right, now we have echo um, echo and $age. So that's very simple. Okay, and let's see the result, and you can see that 20 has now been fetched from the query string itself, that is from the HTML page. So I hope you must have uh, got what the PHP GET method is actually resembling. All right, so let's just see what if we send the empty value to the server. So you can see that fname, lname, and age does not have any values within it. So it is sending the name of the element but not the value. That's why there is empty. So let's just change it right away. Let's just put xyz. Let's just put qwert, and let's just put 20. And so you can see that things are reflected right away. So it's just to tell you that PHP page is the main page. HTML doesn't matter. It's actually can be manipulated, but very important here is the script on the PHP side. It's very important to make it very correctly and sequence wisely. So you can just imagine that these are the modules which we'll be using in our login and register modules. So I hope you'll practice dollar PHP get method very nicely using the dollar underscore get. In the next tutorial, we'll see how we can implement PHP post method. It's similar to dollar get, but it has little differentiation that we'll be discussing in our next part of the tutorial with PHP GET. So that's all for the tutorial, and from now on, the tutorials will be the source code will be uploaded in the zip format, because we have two files now, which is HTML and PHP. So for the same, zip file will be created and uploaded on the server itself. You can download the same and extract it on your browser. So thank you for watching. Keep visiting PHP by Fire for updates. Thank you very much.